Mattress airlines. Transporting a mattress isn't exactly a walk in the park. The average one can weigh up to 150 pounds, and thanks to its size, strapping it to the roof of a car is a must. So it doesn't become a giant flying carpet when the wind picks up. Seems obvious, right? Apparently not to one 20-year-old woman back in 2016. She and her friend were trying to move a mattress that wouldn't fit inside their van. So, naturally, they came up with a brilliant plan. One of them would lie on top of the mattress on the roof of the van while the other drove. What could possibly go wrong? Turns out, quite a lot. They clearly skipped physics class and common sense. The mattress rider was launched off the roof the moment her friend hit the gas. The mattress hit the pavement, and so did she. Unfortunately, only the mattress made it out in one piece. Debate Club, Highway Edition. Road rage is no joke, but sometimes it ends in ways that are ironically final. Take the events of September 12, 2021, for example. It was 1 a.m. on a Sunday, and two drivers in California had a collision on the highway. Instead of pulling over like semi-rational adults, they decided to argue right there in the middle of the road. Apparently, these two geniuses assumed that since it was nighttime, the highway had turned into their personal debate stage. Spoiler, it hadn't. Within minutes, both men were struck by a passing vehicle and were later found lifeless at the scene. A dramatic and permanent end to their disagreement. DIY fireworks. Quick question. If you wanted to light some fireworks, you know, the small ones that go boom, how would you get them? Most people would just buy them like sane, functioning members of society. But according to a 2002 report, one man in Croatia decided that paying for fireworks was just too safe. So, naturally, he opted to make his own for New Year's Eve. How? With whatever he had lying around, which happened to include a chainsaw and a grenade. Yes, a grenade. I probably don't need to explain why sawing into an explosive device is a catastrophically dumb idea. Unsurprisingly, he didn't survive to see the fireworks. On the bright side, he did earn himself a Darwin Award. So hey, something to celebrate. No padding, no problem. Skiing usually requires a few essentials: proper gear, warm clothing, and most importantly, visibility. As you may have guessed, the next proud Darwin Award recipient had none of the above. In 2002, a 22-year-old genius and his friends decided to climb Mammoth Mountain in Nevada at 3 a.m. to ski in total darkness. Spontaneous? Absolutely. Smart? Not even close. The twist? He didn't bring skis, so he improvised by ripping the protective padding off a ski lift tower. You know, the padding that keeps people from dying when they crash into giant metal poles. Clutching his stolen cushion, he hiked to the top, sat on it like a sled, and launched himself downhill. It was all fun and games until he reached a dead stop, quite literally, by slamming headfirst into the exact tower he had unpadded earlier. If only there had been some kind of soft surface to absorb the impact, right? Honestly, I'm running out of words. Budget bungee. Ever tried bungee jumping? It's a thrill. That is, if you're not plummeting to your death because your equipment came from a dollar store. See, the whole idea is that a professional handles the gear, the math, and the insurance. But none of that stopped one 22-year-old fast food worker in Virginia back in 1997. He wanted cheap adrenaline, so he jumped off a 70-foot overpass. His gear of choice? Not a bungee cord. No, that would have made too much sense. Instead, he strung together several tiny elastic straps. You know, the kind you use to tie sleeping bags to backpacks. For reasons known only to him, he assumed they'd hold his weight and forgot one critical detail: length matters. Turns out, when your DIY cord is longer than the distance to the ground, your jump becomes less bounce and more splat. He got his thrill and a Darwin Award all in one jump. Explosive recycling. Scrap metal is easy to find. Cars, old appliances, soda cans. You know what's not a safe source of scrap? Rocket-propelled grenades. But one man in Rio de Janeiro, back in 2006, clearly missed that memo. He stumbled upon an old RPG and thought, jackpot. Because nothing says great idea like trying to dismantle military-grade explosives with zero training. First, he tried running over the grenade with his car. When that didn't work, surprise, he moved on to plan B, smashing it with a sledgehammer. Subtle, effective, terminal. The grenade exploded, and not only shredded the weapon but also shredded him, 6 nearby vehicles, and the workshop he was in. When police arrived, they discovered 14 more grenades just lying around. Even if this one hadn't exploded, the odds were not exactly in his favor. Some people are just destined for the Darwin Award. He earned his with a bang.